Hey guys, welcome back to Just for Fun. This is Matt here with our Gifts of the Sun deck. So this is a Sun Titan Gifts Ungiven deck. If you haven't seen Gifts Ungiven before, by the way, I did have a video at my Gifts Ungiven deck, which is a really sweet deck, and you should watch that if you haven't. This is a bit different. That one's more based on comboing off with this card. You're going to see a lot of this card in Modern now that Thopter Foundry is legal, because it works really well with Thopter Foundry. So I'm sure you'll see that deck. This is not that deck. This is a Sun Titan control value combo-ish deck. There is a combo in the deck, but it's mostly a value deck. So what I mean by that is it wins by drawing a crap ton of cards and just getting so ahead in cards that your opponent can't catch up. So how you do it is you stall the board until you can play Sun Titan, and this is your primary win condition. Technically speaking, you can win with Jace, but that's unlikely to happen. I mean, I have one that way, but most of the time you're just gonna win by being really ahead on board and having a bunch of 6/6 vigilance creatures. So, first we'll talk about some of the cards in the deck. We do have some Kabira Crossroads and Tranquil Coves to gain life here in the mana base. 24 lands. Wall of Omens, great at stalling the board. Phantasmal Image, a great value creature, and this is how our combo works, and I'll explain that in a second, but also a good thing to copy with Wall of Omens early, draw another card, have another blocker, and based on having Sun Titan in the deck, you don't care, you kind of want these to go to the graveyard, so you just block every chance you get, and if your opponent wastes like removal spells or tricks on these cards, you're thrilled. Same goes for Court Hussar. If your opponent spends mana to kill this, and cards, you're so happy. So those hold the ground. Remand keeps any non-creature stuff from coming right away, draws you further into your deck. Mirror Mockery, this is a fun inclusion. You can use this as a pacifism, basically, or you can put this on top of your Sun Titan and have multiple Sun Titan triggers per turn. That works really well with Court Hussar, because if Court Hussar comes back with Sun Titan's ability, it dies because it wasn't you didn't spend white mana to cast it, so it lets you do this over and over again. Basically, this says when this comes into the battlefield, cast Anticipate, right? So attack with Sun Titan and cast Anticipate is just an amazingly powerful effect. So now what else? So basically, half of the game plan is to get these phantasmal images in the graveyard. Then when you cast Sun Titan, you bring an image back into play, copying the Sun Titan. So you can chain these to make a bunch of Sun Titans all at once. With the last one, you can get back your Wall of Omens, or, Oh, another thing to remember, you can get back Flooded Strand with Sun Titan, so you can kind of ramp with it, which is really cool. That's something that was not intuitive and took me a while to figure out. So over here, you can see we have more copies of some of the other cards in the deck, and the reason I did this is I wanted to show you how to Gifts Ungiven in this deck. So some example piles. Let's say it's early in the game and you don't have Sun Titan or enough lands yet, so you're trying to dig for value. You would cast Gifts, and you would go Wall, Court Hussar, Jace, Phantasmal Image. So any which way you slice this, you're getting two of these, and you're going to draw at least two more cards. Worst case scenario, they give you Wall and Image. You play Wall, draw card, Image, draw card, right? If they give you Hussar, you can dig. If they give you Jace, you can draw cards, and so forth. And this all sets you up to have whichever one of these in the yard to when you finally can cast your Sun Titan. Let's say you need to get rid of something in order, like Ensnaring Bridge, or a creature with, well, not a creature with protection for white, a Primeval Titan or some other big dude that you want to get rid of. You gifts for Journey, O-Ring, Banishing Light, Detention Sphere, and no matter what they give you, you still have 2 removal spells in your hand to deal with whatever's on the board. And then if you can cast your Sun Titan, you can get another one back. Let's say the board is flooded with creatures and you need to Wrath right away or you're going to get killed. You can gifts for Day of Judgment, Wrath, and Supreme Verdict, and no matter what, you're getting 1 Wrath effect. Let's say Sun Titan is already on the board, you've established control, you just want to make sure he doesn't get removed. You can gifts for 4 different counter spells. They're basically the same spell with minor differences and different names. Gifts, in case you were wondering, you have to choose different names. You can't just choose, you couldn't just do 4 Supreme Verdicts. They have to be different in order for gifts to work. So that's why the piles are done this way. And that's why these particular spells are in here, because I want hard counters to protect my my Sun Titan, and this is how I can search them up with Dissolve, Dissipate, Cancel, or Scatter. You're bound to get at least 2 hard counter spells, so opponents can have a lot to fight through in order to stay alive. In the sideboard, I didn't really fully expand this, but there's more things you could do. I put the traditional gifts package of Unburial Rites with a fatty in case that ends up being a better game plan against certain decks. Unburial for Iona is lights out, or for Elish Norn is lights out. And with this deck, and the way Sun Titan ramps you and the way you draw a bazillion cards and stall really well, you could actually end up hard casting these cards pretty easily. So not the biggest deal that I don't have a black in here to cast the first half of them. Burial Rites, it could get stuck in your hand, but that's okay because you can cast these 2 fatties. And then there's another gifts pile here for playing against burn, some life gain and stuff. Either which way, if you get 2 of these, it's probably going to be pretty good to help you stabilize versus a burn deck. We're already pretty good versus burn with the main deck Kabira Crossroads and Tranquil Coves and stuff. So Wall of Omens pretty good against that deck. Anyway, I think the deck is really, really strong. I really enjoy playing with it. I hope you sleeve this up and play it too. It's bonkers. Please watch the videos. We go off. We do gifts for all sorts of shit. People concede to us. It's hilarious. Please watch. Thanks. Like, subscribe, comment, share with your friends. Peace. Enjoy. Have a good night.